And hello everybody, welcome back to LFC News. A few days ago, it was announced that Gravenberch had signed a contract, and I spoke at the time that this was, of course, some big news. I've been very critical on the Liverpool hierarchy, leaving contracts to lastminute.com. We've seen last season 3 players come to the end of their contract, and we managed to tie down 2 right at the end. And of course, we're seeing this season the same story play out with Konate. So I found it good to see that, we're actually rewarding our contributors and getting contracts signed ahead of time before their expiry. Now, in that video, I also provided an update with regard to some more players. That Paul Joyce had came out and provided an update with regard to Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai. He said that both of those players, that the club were in negotiations at the look of trying to extend their stay at Liverpool. However, this morning, guys, we have had a bit of contradiction come out with regard to Alexis McAllister, which I want to dive into in today's video. But as always, guys, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So, yes, as stated, Paul Joyce came out and said that Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister were the sort of next players. The Liverpool were in active negotiations to try and tie them down. And he also said that there is no progress on the Konate contract, which does seem as though that looks like he's heading out of the door. Whether that's going to be to Real Madrid, PSG, I'm not too sure, but I do think that's not very good news for Liverpool. But look, this news here from McAllister as well. So as stated, Paul Joyce claimed that the club were in negotiations over a new contract. However, Alexis McAllister's father has came out this morning saying no negotiations over new Liverpool contract. Alexis McAllister's father insists there are currently no negotiations to extend the Argentine's Liverpool contract. And yeah. So take of that what you will, ladies and gentlemen. But apparently Paul Joyce has got his wires mixed up, I suppose, which is unlike him. Or maybe his father's doing something a little bit different here. But regardless, a bit of contradiction there due to the inside Liverpool sources saying that the contract negotiations are currently ongoing and him saying that that's not the case. So, yeah, interesting. I do believe that we do need to have Alexis McAllister stay for the long term. I think he's a pivotal part of this team. And I liked, same with Dominic Szoboszlai, those 3, Grav, McAllister, Szoboszlai need to get contract extensions, in my personal opinion. But we'll have to wait and see what any more developments come out in the way of McAllister.
In other news, Andy Robertson's Liverpool future remains uncertain as the experienced left-back approaches the final months of his contract, bringing an end to what has been a remarkable near-decade-long spell at Anfield. Since arriving from Hull City in 2017, the Scotland international has established himself as one of the most consistent and influential fullbacks of the modern era, playing a key role in Liverpool's most successful period of the Premier League age. Now, with his current deal set to expire this summer, attention is beginning to turn toward what comes next for the 31-year-old. Robertson has not enjoyed the same guaranteed starting role this season that he once held under previous regimes, with competition for the left-back position increasing. There was even the possibility of a departure during the January transfer window, with interest growing in his availability. However, Liverpool ultimately decided against allowing him to leave midway through the campaign, feeling his experience and leadership remained too valuable as they pushed through a demanding stretch of the season. His performance on Friday night served as a timely reminder of exactly why the club made that decision. Liverpool secured a 3-1 victory over Wolves in the FA Cup to book their place in the quarter-finals, and Robertson was at the heart of the win with a display full of energy, quality, and attacking intent. After a frustrating league defeat to Wolves earlier in the week, Arne Slot's side produced a strong response at Molineux. Robertson broke the deadlock shortly after the restart with a superb strike from the edge of the penalty area, showing excellent composure to guide the ball beyond the goalkeeper. Just 2 minutes later, he was involved again, providing a perfectly delivered cross that Mohamed Salah converted to double Liverpool's advantage. Although Hwang Hee-chan pulled one back late on for the hosts, Curtis Jones's earlier effort ensured Liverpool had already done enough to seal a deserved victory and keep their cup ambitions alive. For Robertson personally, the performance felt symbolic. Much of his season has been spent rotating in and out of the side, often appearing from the bench or featuring only briefly toward the end of matches. The arrival of Milos Kerkez from Bournemouth in a deal worth around £40 million last summer increased the competition in his position and suggested Liverpool were planning for the future on the left side of defence. Kerkez, however, endured a difficult start to life at Anfield and has taken time to adjust to the expectations and demands of the club. In recent weeks, he has begun to show signs of improvement, gradually growing into the role and displaying flashes of the talent that convinced Liverpool to invest heavily in him. Yet Friday's performance belonged firmly to Robertson. For years, his game has been built on relentless energy, explosive overlapping runs, and an engine that allowed him to contribute constantly at both ends of the pitch. While injuries and age have inevitably taken a slight toll in recent seasons, many of those trademark qualities were still visible in his display against Wolves. His assist for Salah perfectly illustrated that enduring attacking threat. Timing his overlap to perfection, Robertson surged beyond Rio Ngumoha before delivering a precise cross toward the back post that Salah calmly converted. The numbers behind his performance only reinforced his impact. Robertson created 4 chances throughout the match and played an impressive 20 passes into the final third, consistently pushing Liverpool forward. Defensively, he also remained sharp, producing 2 clearances and making 7 recoveries to regain possession for his team. Perhaps most impressive was his composure in possession. Robertson completed 95 of his 103 attempted passes, demonstrating the control and reliability that have made him such a trusted figure in Liverpool's system for so many years. With his contract entering its final stretch, his long-term future remains open to question. There had previously been suggestions that a move elsewhere could materialize if Liverpool decided to refresh their options at left back. However, performances such as this one inevitably strengthen the case for the club to reconsider and potentially extend his stay. Speaking after the match, Michael Owen highlighted the ongoing debate surrounding Robertson's place in the team. The big question is, will he play instead of Kerkez? Because of course Kerkez was rested as well, but I think he should personally, Owen said while analysing the match on TNT Sports. I think he's been pensioned off far too soon by a lot of people. He's got a lot to offer still. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.